Hi wonderful souls, and welcome back to another video. So in this video we're going to talk about narcissists, okay? I know it's a very popular topic nowadays, and there has to be a reason for it, right? I'm guessing a lot of people are in relationships with a narcissist, right? Or a psychopath, or I would say disordered individuals, right? Um, I'm probably going to make a video about why they are in depth, I mean, like an in-depth video, right? About why they are the way that they are. But in this video, we're not going to go too much into depth on why they are they are the way that they are. I'm going to give you, I'm going to talk about you, and it's all going to be, hopefully this will help you, realize that you are in a relationship with a narcissist, right? Or with a disordered individual, perhaps it's a psychopath, right? The two are very, very related and very close, right? Not the same per se, but very, very close. Anyways, and hopefully my tips to you in this video will help you escape a disordered relationship, and help you find love again, and help you become your best version, right? And hopefully eventually get into a good relationship, a relationship that you all deserve, right? And a relationship that we all want and crave, right? And a beneficial relationship, right? That will not only just benefit you, right? But when you are happy, when we're happy in relationships, right? Then everyone benefits, right? We kind of become more at ease, right? We become kinder towards other people, right? And we kind of, it helps us live our best life, right? Ultimately, if you guys are a team, right? And if you've got a great partner, then your life becomes easier. It becomes more fun, right? It becomes less challenging because you guys can support one another, right? And unfortunately, a relationship with a narcissist is extremely unhealthy, and it's extremely damaging and to another person, right? And who is not a narcissist. And it's so in today's video, right, I'm going to try to help you get out of this relationship if you are in one, right? And I'm extremely sorry if you are in one of those relationships, okay? Because I can completely understand you. I've been in those relationships, right? And it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship, okay? A lot of us are stuck in those relationships for many, many, many years, right? Because it's not a romantic relationship. It's actually, it's a family relationship, okay? It can be your mom, it can be your dad, right? And you're kind of, you feel like because they're blood, because you guys are related, you're stuck with them, right? And you have to put up with their behavior, right? You have to put up with their abuse. But it's not the case. It's not the case at all, okay? You do not have to put up with their abuse. But there are certain things that you have to realize first, okay? Before you kind of set yourself free, okay? For the most part, the trap is mental, okay? You get mentally trapped in the relationship with them, okay? And so that makes it very, very difficult to get out, okay? For the most part, guys, most things in life we kind of mentally trap ourselves into them, okay? Be it work or relationships, right? Or really anything else for that matter. So a lot of it is mental, right? So we have to work on that first. Okay, so you guys, affective resonance, okay? Affective resonance is something that is vital for love, okay? And unfortunately, if you are in a relationship with a narcissist or with a psychopath, right, with a disordered individual, all of that will be lacking, okay? And because of that, you guys will not be able to form a strong bond, okay? Everything will be superficial, right? You know, the emotional connection will be superficial, you know, and you know, there will be a lack of morality, there will be a lack of empathy, right? Um, there will not be a brain-to-brain connection, right? That deep connection that is so vital for a healthy relationship to thrive, and for two healthy individuals to bond to one another, right? And to care about one another. All of that will be lacking with a narcissistic or a psychopathic individual, okay? There will be no emotional contagion, right? And you know, the feeling of morality and empathy will not be there either, okay? And because of that, basically that's the root of genuine social interaction, right? And so uh, you know, while in an interaction with a disordered individual like a psychopath or a narcissist, because of the way that their brain works, you know, you guys are not going to be able to truly connect, okay, and bond, because you know, narcissists and psychopaths, right, they turn the bottom up, right, or the emotions first, right, a process into a top down, okay, a thinking first process, okay, which means that you know, they have to absorb you, right? And think about how you're reacting, right? Instead of feeling you. Instead of feeling the emotions from you, right? So they have to think and observe your reactions, and then they will create an emotional reaction, right? Based on what they think they should look and come off as, okay? While a normal individual, like a healthy individual, feels first, right, and then thinks, right? Yeah, I can tell you just from experience, right? Because um, I have you know, several disordered individuals in my family, right? Myself, and I've been with several of them. You know, and I'll give you an example of my mom, right? My mother, she used to tell me that, you know, she doesn't. She used to tell me that she doesn't feel anything, right? And of course, the way that she behaved, that explained a lot too, right? So she would have these crazy blow ups, right? And one thing that I have to be clear on, right, is that guys, don't confuse, you know, intensity of emotions, right? Of like rage, right? For example, with depth. Okay, it's not the same. Okay, it's not the same here, and that can be confusing. Okay, so they do experience intensity of emotions, extremely intense emotions, which are dysregulated, right? But then they will go back to, you know, for example, they will explode, right, in rage, and hurt your feelings, right? Hurt you in the process, and then they will just like in an hour or so, right, or maybe even less, they'll go back to acting like nothing happened, and they're perplexed, right, and confused as to why you don't want to speak to them, right, or why you're still mad at them or upset at them, right, and why you want to talk about it. And in most cases, they will just like try to keep you quiet, and you know, they'll tell you that you're crazy for you know, they'll gaslight you, you know, and they'll tell you that you're crazy for behaving like behaving or acting upset after an incident like that, right? Anyways, and you're not. That's what a healthy individual does, right? Is that if something like this happens, right? If someone hurts you, then you want to talk about why they hurt you, right? And you want to make it right. You want to understand, right? And also let them know that it wasn't okay to hurt you like this, right? But a psychopath will just act like nothing happened, and they'll just continue their behavior. That's partially because their brain works in the way that I just explained, right? So guys, narcissistic individuals, right? Um, they are extremely power hungry, right? And for the most part, very ego driven, right? So everything that really that they do it out of ego, okay? So a lot of them will kind of seem giving, right? Maybe financially. They usually use finances to control everyone around them, okay? They either, when they pay for you, right, you best believe that it's not coming from their hearts, okay? A lot of people mistaken financial help, right, with genuine love and care about you, right? But it's not the case. They usually, when they pay for you, right, it's a way to control you. It's a way to earn or to buy your loyalty, okay? Or perhaps they're expecting a favor from you in the future, right? Or, you'll be paying with your emotions, right? They'll steal your emotional energy too. Okay, maybe they expect praises, right? And that maybe you'll be, because you're such an emotional person, right? And they experience a lack of emotions. They kind of basically they're kind of like parasites, right? They need someone to feed off of, okay? And so when they pay financially, right, physically, when they if they take care of you, right, like this, then you best believe that there's a more sinister reason behind them helping you, okay? So it's there's always there's always something that they want from you, basically, okay? So yeah, same with charity. If an individual that's disordered, right, if you see them helping other people somehow, right, perhaps giving to charity, right, once again they're just doing it to create a good image of themselves, okay, in the eyes of others, okay, because they really truly care about their reputation, right? And so they want everyone to see them in a really good light, right? So they will fake this, okay? They will give to charity, so everyone thinks that they're a decent person, right? When in most cases, the ones that are truly close to them, right? The ones that are usually their spouses, their girlfriends, their boyfriends, right? They know who they are behind that mask, right? That social mask that they put out, and the person behind that mask is the devil, man. Like, you best believe that that person is evil to their core, okay? And for an average person, right, for a healthy person, for a person who is an empath, for someone that genuinely cares and loves people, it's extremely extremely hard to believe. And when you are in a relationship with that person, you kind of, initially at least, you kind of close your eyes to a lot of things that might happen. You don't want to believe what just happened, right? You kind of you deny a lot of things that the narcissist does, basically. Yeah, you're not you basically, you choose to see not the person that's in front of you, right? But you kind of choose to put on your rose-colored glasses, and you choose to live in an illusion that that person is truly a decent person, and a person that you saw in the beginning of a relationship, right? The person you kind of fell in love with, right? So anyways, that's also another thing, right? Is that the person that you do fall in love with is actually not there, okay? It's an illusion that they presented for you, okay? You actually, the funny thing is you actually fell in love with yourself, okay? Because they mimicked all of your feelings, right? Like your reactions to things, your if you like tennis, for example, they will love tennis too, right? If you I don't know, want to change this planet, right? If you do beach cleanups, right, and so on, they'll join the same organization, right? And or they'll go to the beach with you, and they'll also they'll pretend to be into that too, right? Anyway, so they will mimic you, they will pretend to have the same interests, right? You will feel like you found your soulmate, and you will not believe your luck, and so this initial stage, right, where they kind of they'll give you gifts, right? They'll give you compliments. They'll be all about giving, 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 right? You'll feel overwhelmed because you'll feel like you finally found the one, right? Your soulmate. And that's it's called the love bombing stage, okay? And with narcissists, right, psychopaths, there are a couple of different stages that you have to be aware of, right? And you probably already know about these stages because you are in a relationship with a narcissist or a psychopath, right? Or maybe you didn't, I don't know, but you will probably realize that you guys are constantly like in a cycle, right? And that cycle is a cycle of abuse, okay? It's what happens with disordered individuals, right? And sometimes, right, that cycle is very short, but sometimes it's a very long cycle, right? So it can take years and years, especially if it's a relationship with parents, right? Or family members, right? Anyways, but romantic relationships, they can be extremely short, whereas you'll go through the love bombing stage, right? Then the stages the next stage is devaluation, right, where they start their abuse, right? They'll start gaslighting you, and basically they'll start to you'll start questioning your worth, your self-esteem will go down, right? You will feel like you're going crazy, you will feel like you are worthless, right? They'll if you're pretty, right, physically pretty, attractive, they'll start making you feel like you're not, like you look like a mouse, right? And you're worth nothing, right? Anyways, if you're intelligent, you'll start questioning your intelligence. They'll make you feel stupid, right? So all of your inner qualities, right, are going to be sacrificed in exchange for being in that crazy relationship with a narcissist, okay? All of your inner qualities, in your essence, your soul, it will slowly begin to disappear, okay? If you stay in a relationship like this, you're going to end up with a truly, truly broken soul, damaged beyond belief, with a lot of mental, physical, emotional, spiritual problems, right? And so, yeah, it is truly, truly insane. It is crazy. I don't understand how people can stay for years and years without realizing really what's going on, right? Anyway, so back to the stages, right? The next stage is discard, right? Where they just discard you, right? Maybe they got what they wanted from you, right? And so maybe it's just sex, right? Maybe it's a short-lived relationship. So maybe they got money from you, right? And as soon as they get that, they'll just disappear from your life, okay? And you'll be wondering, where did my soulmate, right, go? My soulmate. So yeah, and then of course, if maybe you broke off the relationship, right? Um, or maybe if they still need you as their supply, right? If they still need something from you, right? Maybe they want more sex, maybe they want more money, right? Maybe they don't have a place to live, right? So they'll come back to you, right? They'll try to hoover back, right? So it's like a hoovering stage where they will start to stalk you on social media. Maybe they will try to call you, right? Come by your house, and bring you flowers, and so on. So this is like a hoovering stage where they will try to get back into your good graces, right? They will try to reel you back in, basically, okay? And before you know it, if you allow for this to happen, if you let them back in, then the whole cycle of abuse is going to start all over again, okay? And this is not limited to romantic relationships, once again, okay? This happens with family members as well, okay? Be it your mom, your dad, or your brother, your siblings, whatever, okay? So yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, guys, so how on earth do you get out of this crazy relationship, right? For the most part, like I said before, right, is that we get we get stuck, right? We get stuck, and it's like a vicious cycle of abuse, right? And so you have to recognize that there's an issue, and the issue is not with you, okay? That individual that you're with, right? They need constant drama, right, for their ego to survive. They're highly driven. I mean, they're driven by ego, okay, and they will sacrifice you to feed their ego, okay, basically. So that's why a lot of them, for example, they get into relationships with someone who's got a lot of things going for them, right? A lot of perhaps mm, perhaps things that are considered valuable in our society, right? So maybe that someone has a lot of money, right? Maybe that someone is popular in school, right? Popular in university, right? So they will get together with someone like this, okay? They're usually very driven by power and status, right? So if they can use you in one of those ways, be it financially, be it climbing the ladder, right? Being seen as someone who is on a higher social status, right? Then they will, okay? So just consider that, right? So they will never really love you, right? They will never really connect with you because they are disordered, okay? Somewhere along the lines, right? They got abused, okay? They were in very abusive situations as children, usually with their parents, right? With their mom or dad, or yeah, usually it's a mother or a father, right? And so they their brains got damaged, right? They couldn't move on to become emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent, and physically and spiritually healthy individuals, right? They got basically damaged beyond repair, okay? And I know this from also personal experience with my parents, right? My mother, she was abused as a child. Okay, my ex also, who was a psychopath, he was, I've seen his parents interact with one another. Okay, his father, he hit his mom on the head right in front of me. I was shocked. I was like, "Are you kidding? What on earth are you doing? You can't do that, right?" Anyways, but of course, some say, that these disordered individuals, they were born like this, right? So it's genetics, right? Some say that, some believe that they're just bad apples, right from the start, right? And if perhaps they do have that gene, right, that psychopathic gene, um, and if they are in an unnurturing environment, right, with their parents where they're abused to, then that gene will definitely get triggered, and yeah. But on the other hand, right, my ex's, or the guy who was a psychopath, right, my ex's mother, she warned me about him. So that can happen too. You might get warnings from even their own parents. Which is crazy. When she warned me, um I kind of, I was very surprised. Okay, I was like, wow, it's his own mom. Why would she warn me about her own son? That makes no sense, right? But yeah, that can happen. Okay, um, so don't ignore that. Okay, it's God's gift to you. Okay, you might get warnings from their exes. Okay, um, you might get warnings from their exes also. Okay, about them. Of course, because you're so in love, right? Supposedly, because because he um, got you to fall in love with him, right? You will, in most cases, you will choose to ignore all of the warnings, right? And other people who are trying to warn you about that person. Anyway, so pay attention to them. Don't ignore them. Okay, it's really it's our higher ones, or our God's way of helping you. See who this person truly is, in a way. So guys, the real issue is not with you, okay? It's with the disordered individual, okay? You have the capacity to love deeply, right? You wanted to bond with someone, you wanted to find your person, right? But unfortunately, and probably because of the way that you were also brought up, right? You didn't recognize the unhealthy red flags, right? What to you, his behavior was normalized by the abusive behavior of your parents. Okay, so a healthy individual, right, that probably didn't experience an abusive childhood, they would have recognized the red flags and gotten out of the relationship, right from the start. But you didn't recognize those red flags because to you they seemed normal. That's what you were used to, right? That's what was familiar to you. So that familiarity was also something, that familiarity is why you also fell for him and took your guard off. Okay, took your guard down, I mean. Okay, um and why do you stay in the cycle of abuse with a narcissist? It has to do with love, guys. Okay, it has to do with basically, because you never got that love from your parents, right? um you continue to stay with a narcissist, right? Especially like a romantic relationship, right? You continue to stay with a narcissist so you can win, you can finally try to win that love back that you never got as a child, okay, from your parents. Okay, so you keep on hoping and praying that the narcissist, in your romantic relationship will finally love you like your parents never did, and you will finally feel okay. You will finally feel loved and accepted and connected to someone, right? In the way that you always craved to be loved and accepted and cared for as a child, right? But unfortunately, guys, it's just an illusion, okay? And in order to get out of a relationship with a narcissistic or a psychopathic individual, you have to realize that that love is never going to come, okay? That acceptance is never going to come. You're always going to be criticized. You're always going to be made um, um, small. You will always feel small with those individuals because like I said, they're driven by ego, right? There's always going to be competition. Who is better than who, right? There's going to be no real empathy, understanding. Maybe you will get sick, right? Maybe something will happen that will require for your other half to care for you, right? Don't expect that from a narcissist. Don't expect that from a psychopath. They will probably just laugh at you, or they will act like nothing is going on. you know those individuals are extremely distorted, right? And for I believe they're just broken beyond repair, right? They will never be able to um, they basically they choose to live in an illusion, okay? If they had a really bad childhood, right, they will deny that. They will deny that because the feelings that might come up, they're just way too intense and too painful for maybe for them to feel, if they do come up, right? So they just they choose to go emotionally numb and to forget and deny their past, right? Their hurtful past. I've encountered this many times, right? Where it's like the disordered individual would just pretend like their childhood was amazing, and nothing bad happened, right? Um, and so yeah, they're in this denial mode. They will still like cling to their parents, and because they themselves are often stuck in that narcissistic abuse cycle too with their own parents, okay? So I saw this with my mom, right? Although my mom did share certain bad things that happened to her, which is kind of unusual, right? And of course, that's how I was able to find out about it, right? But she still kind of held on tightly to her abusive mom, who just kind of treated her like garbage, even in front of me, and I got to witness this. So this kind of deepened my understanding as to what's happening, right? So guys, one other thing, right, that is extremely hard to accept for a lot of people in abusive relationships like this, right, is that they were never truly loved, right? They were kind of like objects, right? And they were made to be used, right? So a narcissist saw some kind of value in you that they could take advantage of, basically, okay? So, um, you know, you have to accept that you will never be loved. And if you are in a relationship like this, accept that this individual is not capable of deep emotional bonding. They're completely disconnected from their emotions, right? Of course, they can feel certain things, right? Like rage, right? Anger. But for the most part, they cannot experience true and deep emotions. That depth is missing, and that's also another reason why they will try to move on into having a relationship with you really, really fast. Okay, that's because that mask has to come off at some point, right? And you will, if you were to take it slow with them, right? In the beginning, then you would see for the person, for the devil that they are behind that mask. Okay, and so that's why a lot of them, they move on into relationships extremely, extremely fast, because they lack that emotional depth, right? And they know that if you get to know them, then you will not want to get into a relationship with them. Okay, and so it's a trap, right? So always get to know other people. That's another thing, guys, right? For the future, right? Always take your time and get to know other people. Build that emotional connection, right? Um, so that's, I think that's extremely important, right? For the future, for you guys, right? For your next relationship. And I know that if you guys are in abusive relationships right now, that and depending on how long you've been in them, right? I know it's going to take you a lot of time to heal, guys, right? But you can do it, okay? I know it's not going to be easy. In the beginning, you might be emotionally numb yourself. There's a lot of because a lot of damage has been done, right? Narcissistic or psychopathic individuals, they're like hurricanes. Okay, they destroy everything in their path, and they don't care. They just simply don't care, right? And because you ended up in a relationship like this, then you're going to need a lot of healing. You're going to need a lot of time to and a lot of patience, but you can do it. Okay, you can heal again. You eventually, with time, your wounds will heal, and you will start feeling better. You will start to actually feel right. When I got out of a relationship with the psychopath, right, I felt like I was so numb. I couldn't feel anything anymore, and for a while I just felt like a robot, just merely going through the motions. And it was truly scary and a sad time in my life, but um you freed yourself, right? If you're able to free yourself from that toxic relationship, then you're a hero. Okay, and you deserve a medal. All right. So it's really all about working on getting out of that toxic relationship, right? So let's do that. All right, you got it in you. You guys, so one thing that you have to do in order to get out of this relationship, right, is you have to pick yourself. Okay, you have to realize that this person will never love you. Okay, they're incapable. Okay, they're emotionally closed off. um, they're like dating an AI, right? Artificial intelligence. They're like dating a robot, right? They can think about your reactions, your emotions, and mimic them, right? But they can never experience those emotions like you can, all right? So, guys, there's no bonding, there's no love. So you have to choose yourself, okay? You have to choose your essence. You have to choose your inner qualities. Do you want to become an empty shell? Because by being with them, that's what's going to happen. They're gonna gaslight you. They're gonna make you feel crazy. They're gonna say things, right, to you that will hurt you, or that will make you question your sanity, because maybe you said something and they're telling you that you never said that, and to stop acting crazy. That's gaslighting, right? They might and they use all kinds of different tactics um, to make you feel worthless, to make you, they might criticize you, right? But their critique will come off as like something that will help you, right? So they're gonna criticize you in a way that will make you kind of like ask yourself, are they trying to be helpful, right? Or because they love me, right? Or what is going on here? Because they just told me that I'm ugly, basically, right? But they did it in a way that was nice and kind. And that's kind of like what they do, right? So anyway, yeah, you guys have to choose yourself, okay? The only way that I was able to get out of those relationships is because I chose to keep my sanity. I chose to I chose myself. I chose my inner qualities, right? I chose, um, you know, I I realized that I was beginning to feel worthless. I was beginning to feel ugly, unattractive when I was with him. I realized that all of my inner qualities, right, that I worked so hard to build, they just diminished to almost nothing, okay? And that's how a lot of people stay in these relationships, is that they um they lose all of their inner good qualities, right? And so that's exactly what the narcissist wants. They want complete control over you. Um, you know, and they want you to feel like nothing. In fact, they want you to kill yourself. That's what they want. That's their ultimate goal. They want to destroy everything. They want you to be destroyed on a spiritual level and on a physical level. Um, so yeah, it is truly scary, right? But that's what they're like. So realize this, okay? They're not the person that you fell for. You fell for yourself because they mirrored you, okay? You fell for yourself, and then you just didn't see the person behind the mask, and then when the mask fell off, which is their true self, right? Um, you you chose not to accept that. So accept that the real person behind that mask uh, is who he is or is who she is. Okay, accept that because that is the truth. That's the truth. Okay, get out of the illusion that things will work out for you guys, and that somehow the narcissist or the psychopath will be able to love you, and they'll finally see your value. You have to be able to see your value. Okay, you have to be able to love yourself. Nobody else can do that. Okay, they will, right? Once you build an awesome relationship with yourself, once you truly love yourself, um, once you see your own value, okay, you will attract a similar person into your life. Okay, but a narcissist or a psychopath is incapable of that. Okay. Okay, guys, so another thing that you can do and you should definitely do is, I know a lot of you are probably trapped financially, okay? That's because that's what happens, right? The narcissist or psychopath, they isolate you, right? They don't want you to have any support. They don't want you to have emotional support or physical support, right? So they will isolate you usually by moving you away to another country, to another state, right? So you will be somewhere else where you don't know anyone, okay? So nobody's really going to be able to help you, right? It's funny because, the irony of this is that I will tell you, like in the beginning, right? As we were starting a relationship with, my ex, right, who was a psychopath, he told me something really interesting, right? So that was a huge red flag that I chose not to pay attention to because of my own fears, right? Anyway, so one thing that he told me was like, oh, I'm a spider. And that was when we were just laying in bed and like cuddling, right? And he told me, I'm a spider and you are now caught in my web. And I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. That's a cute example that you just gave, right? And I kind of like laughed, but I realized that what he just said was a little bit strange, right? And or a lot strange. And it was really like a metaphor of what he was the spider, and he was telling me this in his own, screwed up way, right? And so in the beginning, guys, if someone tells you that they're a spider, then they are, okay? If they tell you that they're a vampire, then they are. Maybe not literally, right? But you will you will see that mask, okay, that mask of their slip, okay, every once in a while, even in the beginning of a relationship. And it is up to you whether you choose to see it or not, all right? But if you are already in a relationship with a disordered individual, okay, then um, you can probably think back to the beginning and maybe recognize some red flags that happened, right? So guys, you have to learn from your past, okay? You have to learn from this so you can recognize these things when they do happen to you again in the next relationship, okay? So recognize him, or recognize his words or his actions for what they are, and don't create an illusion around them. Just accept them and cut him off. Cut her off, okay? If they do happen, bye. Bye, spider. I'm not a fly, okay? I'm a lioness, man. And don't mess with lionesses. So yeah, guys, if you are back to back to what I was talking about, right? If you are in a relationship with someone like this, then you're probably isolated. You probably have no money, right? So you have to find, now you have to get out, you have to find a way to get yourself out of the web, all right? Slowly but surely, okay, sometimes it will take some time, right? And these individuals are highly disordered, so they're gonna want to control everything around you. They're gonna want to control you. They want to know where all of the money is going, right? If they do give you money, they want to control everything in their life, right? In your life, so you don't leave, right? Anyway, so you are like a trapped fly, right? In this case, so you have to start slowly making your way out, right? If you need to build skills in order to find work, then do it. Of course, there's going to be, if they do find out about it, then they're gonna make you, it's going to be very, very challenging, right, for you to do that with them. They're probably going to make you feel bad and guilty for trying to leave them, right? When really you're just trying to better yourself, maybe, and you just want to be a team player. Maybe you want to pitch in financially, right? But they don't understand this concept, right? So in their eyes, you're trying to leave them when you're trying to gain some skills and maybe contribute more money to the family, right? Anyway, so but in this case, right, guys, we're talking about you recognizing that you are with a disordered individual, and you need to find your way out, right? You need to find an exit strategy, right? So look for work, okay? Put some money away. If they're giving you money, start putting money away, open another bank account if you have to, okay? So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to be sneaky about it. It is what it is, right? I wasn't really sneaky in my relationship, right? When I was trying to get out, he knew he didn't really know how much money I was making, right? But he knew about the extra money that I was making on the side through like freelancing gigs and so on. He knew about that, right? So of course he tried to make me feel bad about that, or he was trying to tell me that I didn't make enough money, so I should stop doing that, right? Anyway, so you're going to go through a lot of mental anguish with them over um, you trying to improve yourself, or you trying to kind of make yourself out. He'll probably realize this. But you're going to just keep on fighting, and just ignore him. You know, ignore his cries, ignore his antics, right? Don't allow him to make you feel bad for bettering yourself or for trying to get out, which he doesn't know about, right? Um, so yeah, try to get financial help. Um, Maybe raise money, you know, if you have to. Tell other people about your situation. You know, go to GoFundMe, right? Um, you know, so do anything in your power, basically, to get out of the situation. I know a lot of us are trapped financially. You know, so you know that's a terrible thing to be in, and I completely understand you guys. Okay, so once again, right, update those skills. You know, um, try to find work, right, and start saving, putting away money, right, start investing. um, Eventually you'll have enough money to get out. Okay, but once again, it's not all about the money, right? So this is the next point that I'm going to talk about. You have to try to build relationships outside. Okay, and guys, I know this from experience, right? And really, it's about having faith. Okay, it's about having faith that you will be provided for, that you will be guided if you do leave, and when you do leave. Okay, guys, a lot of it is really diving into the unknown. Okay, a lot of us are scared, and we are so scared, and we have no idea what's gonna happen, right? Maybe there are children involved. We have no idea what's going to happen if we do leave, right? We don't know how we're gonna survive. We don't know how we're gonna make it on our own, right? A lot of us were actually in those relationships because we didn't believe in ourselves, because we didn't think that we could make it financially by ourselves, right, on our own. A lot of us got into that relationship because we didn't believe in ourselves and our ability to survive on our own, you know. So that's how it was with me, right? I ended up in that relationship because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think that I could make it on my own, you know. So I felt like I needed to be saved by someone, right? And you know, lo and behold, that someone, you know, was a disordered individual, right, who made my life even more difficult, right? So guys, just realize that on your own, at least you won't have the um, mental screw excuse my French, right? Nobody's going to be screwing you mentally. You're gonna have a peace of mind, at least, and you'll be able to sort things out. You'll be able to focus better on what you need to do, okay, in order to become financially independent, right? In order to build your life all over again. Okay, so you know, guys, once you do realize, once you do decide to make that leap of faith, right, and because that's what it will take, you have to trust the universe, right? Trust yourself, most importantly, that God will send good people your way, okay? God will help you in more ways than one. You might not be able to see it, right? But trust me, just when you need it, someone will come into your life and they will help you. So guys, if you're able to, you know, build those relationships outside, okay? You know, I know when you're feeling low, when you're, you know, when you feel like you don't have enough money, right? When they're making you feel bad about that, maybe perhaps you're looking for work, right? And in a really bad state, you're bound to, you know, meet also an abusive, you know, employer. Believe it or not, this can happen too. It's funny because well, kind of, not funny, right? Funny, not funny. When I was looking for a position, right, in the business field, right, I got hired as a business developer, right, in a company where people that hired me turned out to be abusive too. You know, so this can happen too, okay? You can go from, you know, like um, a family abusive situation, right, into a romantic abusive situation, right, into a work abusive situation. So it's completely insane, right? But this can happen, all right? And that's because, you know, it's telling you about something about yourself, right? Something in you isn't healed, hasn't been healed. So you keep on attracting these all kinds of relationships, be it work, family, or romantic relationships into your life because of something that's not healed in you, okay? And that's exactly what they're showing you, okay? Anyway, so if you are in a relationship with a psychopath or a narcissist, right, then and you are looking for work, in most cases, you're probably going to, unfortunately, attract, you know, an employer who is also abusive, okay, to you, and so that's a sad thing, right? And so be careful there too, okay? Be careful there. It can happen, all right? So yeah. Anyways, so I really highly recommend that you try to start building outside relationships, right? And you know, get outside as much as possible, right? Stay away from the house where the abuse happens. Um, stay stay outside, basically. You know, if you have a car, then go somewhere else. Go to the beach. You know, go stay in nature. Don't stay at the house, okay? Um, Try to avoid them. You know, when you do realize that who he is, right, and you accept him for what he is, try to stay out of his hair. Try to stay outside. That's what I did. You know, I spent a lot of my time outdoors. I drove a lot, right? I also looked for work, like physically, not just online, right? So try to stay out of his way. You know, of course, he realized this, right, and he started uh, controlling me even more, right? So he got the abuse got even more intense, but I didn't care at that point because I recognized him for, or I accepted him for what he was. I saw him for what he was, and I was like, okay, that's it. You know, I'm going to do everything in my power to set myself free from this web, right? That I got myself into. Okay, so guys, take responsibility. Take responsibility for you getting into that relationship, okay? Because it was your own fault too, okay? I'm sorry to say, but it was, and that's okay, right? It's okay. Just make sure that you learned from your mistakes, you know. Um, don't step on the same rake twice, right? That's like a Russian expression. Like, don't make the same mistake twice, right? It's it might cost you your life even, so yeah. Lean on other people for support, right? And um, you know like I said, right, because you're in such a bad state, you are very likely to attract an individual with the same energy, okay? So if it's another guy or another girl, right, sometimes they will be in your life just to help you, okay? They might want something out of you, right? But you don't own them a relationship, right? So maybe it's someone in your life, maybe potentially someone that's not good for you, right? Also, so don't go into a rebound relationship when you're just coming out from a narcissistic, or psychopathic relationship, right? Don't go into another relationship, okay? Um, Keep your boundaries, right? Tell the other person perhaps that you're not ready for a relationship, and that maybe in time you will be, right? Anyway, so the only way that I was able to get out of my relationship, right, is that I had to take a leap of faith. I was in a new city. I had no money. Okay, I did have a job. I found a job, right, and I was going to start it like literally like a week after I got out of a relationship with him. Okay, so that was a big plus for me, right? And I took a leap of faith, okay? But something happened, right? Once again, I told you that God will help you, okay? He will send people your way, uh, so you don't end up in a terrible situation, okay? And you have to trust that. You have to trust in that, okay? It's all about having faith, right? Believing in God is having faith, okay? Believing in the devil, right? That's living in lies, accepting lies, okay? So he's I've met this guy, right? And I was basically out looking for work, right? And I ran into this guy, this one guy, and he kind of tried to hit on me, right? And of course, I told him I was in a relationship, right? But still, I something in me, and you'll get an intuitive nudge that that person is meant to be in your life, and somehow, right? You will know. Every time this happened to me in the past, I knew that these people were gonna help me. You know, they were there to help me, basically get out of a difficult situation, right? And so I knew that right away, intuitively, right? So we kind of started talking a little bit, right? And he knew I was in a relationship. He also knew that it was a very abusive relationship and that I was looking for a way out, right? Anyway, so over time, right, in a little while, maybe like in a month or so, or maybe 2 months, um, I I had to get out of the abusive relationship, and I wrote this guy. You know, I wrote to him, and I said, listen, you know, I can't handle this anymore. I need to get out. You know, um, and I had nowhere to go. You know, and so he told me that I could stay with him. You know, he was kind enough to offer his place, and that's how I was able to leave that toxic situation. You know, San Francisco is one of the most expensive states in United States. We were living in a city, right? So I couldn't afford to rent a place. I had no job. I did have work, right? But I was making like nothing. Um, so then I found a new job, right, where I got paid more. And so, yeah, you know, so I left with, you know, I had a car, right? I left the, you know, my ex in my car. I left, I left him everything. I just left everything. I left most of my things. I just didn't care about any of that. I remember just taking a bus. I took the bus, you know, bye, you know, and I just told him I'm leaving you, you know. Enough is enough, you know. And he acted like he was shocked, and yeah, and I just took the bus, and you know, he wanted to find out where I was going, right? Of course, I didn't tell him, you know. So I left, and I left with faith. I left with faith, and I knew that things will work out. And so know this too, okay? That things will work out. You don't know how, okay? You don't know when exactly, but they will work out, okay? They will always work out in your favor. Just tell yourself this, okay? Things will work out. I have faith. Just tell this to yourself, and they will. They will work out, okay? Because they did for me. You guys, like I said, I was in a new city. I knew no one, right? I met this random person, right, who ended up helping me. I you know, and just because he wanted a relationship doesn't mean that I did. You know, I was honest with him and I told him, listen, I just got out of a very abusive relationship. I don't want to get into another one. I'm not in a healthy state, right? You know, if it's okay, I will just stay here for a little bit, right? And then I will find my own place, right? And so this is kind of like what happened, you know. Yeah. You know, and also, of course, I discovered that this individual that helped me, and I'm extremely grateful to him for that, right? He wasn't a healthy guy either, you know. If I would have gotten into a relationship with him, it would have been the same story, guys, okay? So once again, that's why I'm giving you a warning, okay? If you're a guy or a girl, don't get into another relationship after you get out of a toxic one. Heal first, heal, okay? Heal and then get into a relationship when you're in a good place, okay? When you're in a good place financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, okay? A like attracts like, right? So yeah, anyways, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, you know, comment. If you are in an abusive relationship, once again, I'm so sorry, okay? You have no idea how I feel for you, okay? I really do. I've dealt with these situations a couple of times in my life, and each and every time I had to choose myself. I had to consciously say, okay, this is the end of the abuse. I'm cutting this off. I deserve better, okay? I will find better. But for now, I have to get out of the situation. I can no longer expose myself to this toxicity. Otherwise, I will just go crazy, or I will kill myself, right? Or I will just end up doing something that I will regret, right? So, yeah, you guys deserve better, okay? You deserve better. You deserve the best. In fact, you are amazing, okay? You are strong, and you should have faith. Have faith that God will provide. He will look after you, and you're not alone. You're not alone in this. Even though your mind makes you think, your thoughts make you think that you're on your own, you're not. You're not. You are not alone. You're never alone, okay? Guys, we're brothers and sisters. Most of us care about one another, okay? Um, so you will get help, all right? Just when you need it, all right? Much love to you. Mwah.